So now it's time for a discussion, okay? You know that the whole event is about data and AI. So now we would like to have a panel, very interesting panel regarding AI in action, called AI in Action. The idea is to reflect about some facts that we have done also during the event, and also to discuss and to decide what is next, okay? So I would like to invite on stage several panelists. So we have Natalie Bertels from KU Leuven. So I welcome Natalie on stage. We have Elena Montiel also from UPM, professor from UPN, okay? And we have also, I would like, can we have the other slide deck, please, the previous one? Because there we have also the faces and the positions. Okay, it's been a bit complicated. And also finally, Andrejs from Tildem, okay? Andrejs, so. How we are sitting together. Okay, please take seat. Yeah, the three of us, because I would like to excuse Jalel has to left, and my colleague Dani Saez from ITI also has to left. So we are here, the three of us. So first of all, thanks all for being here, and also really appreciate it that we can have this final discussion about AI. So first question, I would like for you to introduce yourself, okay? To also to say your position, towards the AI community, and also your role in this endeavor. So please, Nena, I will start with you. If you can introduce yourself.
Sure, thank you, Daniel. So my name is Elena Montiel. I'm an associate professor at UPM, Universidad Politécnica de Madrid. And I also belong to the Ontology Engineering Group, a research group in the AI department. We have been working on mainly knowledge representation, open science, linked data, language technologies for many years now. And currently, we are coordinating as a project funded by the Spanish government, in which we would like to explore the creation of an incubator for data spaces in Spain.
Okay, thanks a lot. So,
Yeah, my name is Andrejs Vasiljevs. I am co-founder and board member of language technology company Tildem. And at Tildem, we work hard to make sure that all languages in Europe can benefit and provide the same opportunities in digital technologies as larger languages can, and in areas like machine translation, speech processing, and question answering. And we embrace recent developments with large language models to make virtual assistants smarter, and especially for public sector institutions and governments to provide new type of employees, virtual assistants, what can answer to and support the users of e-government services.
Does it work? Yeah, it works now. Yes, so thank you, Danielle, and hello, everyone. My name is Natalie. I work for CITIP, the Center for IT and IP Law. We are a research center, and I'm representing here a great team of researchers in law and ethics at the law department of the faculty of the KU Leuven, so the University of Leuven, and we're also an affiliated research group to IMEC. So in our team, we are working on data regulation, data governance, AI regulation, trustworthy AI, cybersecurity, robotics. It's a broad spectrum of the legal and ethical challenges that are brought by IT and IP innovation. So where we put our unique selling point, maybe it's not as unique, but at least where we put a lot of focus is really on maximizing the value of our research. So I think we can also show here from the event and from the people in the room that it's really important to work together in an interdisciplinary manner so that we bring law, technology, economics, societal research together, and that's the way we will tackle today's challenges.
Perfect. So thanks a lot. As you can see, very different profiles, but at the same time complementary, also contributing to the adoption of AI and so on from the incubator perspective, language, and also language data models, and also ethics and regulation. So now you have run different sessions during the event, okay? So I would like for you to talk to the audience, okay, some insights from the session, where have you learned, what you have learned, maybe next also takeaways also for the future. Can I start with you, Elena?
Yes. Okay. So together with Andrejs, we organized a session on large language models, okay? A fashionable topic nowadays. It was very well attended, and we had a great panel of speakers coming from research, but also from the European institutions and from the industry. We had several companies represented there. Andrejs' company was one of them. And we had very interesting discussion, and maybe one of the first takeaways was that Europe has an opportunity as for language and cultural diversity, to get our language diversity represented in large language models. As you are all well aware, large language models have been mainly trained on English data. Even the biggest languages are very underrepresented, not to talk about minority languages or small languages in Europe. So there are some efforts already to train large language models with data coming from different languages. And I think, well, as was mentioned, we have an opportunity there so that our languages and cultures are also well represented in large language models.
So thanks a lot, Elena. So this is the perfect lead for you, Andrei. So we were discussing yesterday about this hot topic, large language model, and you from the industry perspective.
Yeah, and also as a board member of BDVA, I was happy to chair that session and lead the large language model and generative AI track at this conference. And indeed, with technology, and provide exciting opportunities, but they also bring new challenges. And what was discussed during this conference at several sessions was that we need to make sure that we create in Europe a safe and trustful environment for use of generative AI and large language models. And for this, regulation is important. And in some sense, the discussions of AI Act taken a lot of time, but they caught with ChatGPT appearance in surprise. But it helps to take into account the very recent developments and to make sure that these technologies are not misused for misinformation, are not biased, respect privacy, and we believe that Europe can take the global lead in setting rules for trustworthy use of these technologies. And another aspect what was largely discussed was the need for Europe to advance infrastructures. And we do see massive investments and developments in US and China, and Europe needs to make sure that the critical components, computing infrastructure, high-performance computing infrastructure is in place and is scaled up for the needs for generation of large language models, and the data is available. And for this, yeah, your HPC is a very important infrastructure and should be also more scaled for these needs. And data spaces, especially language data space, what is based on previous developments by language technology community is essential to provide the data in different languages, in different domains, to make sure that in Europe we probably cannot compete in the scale of large language models, to have larger and larger models. And this is a dead end. It's not good for environment, it's expensive, it's not affordable. In Europe, we have to make sure that we can find new methods to have more compact, smarter models that are serving different needs, different tasks in cost-efficient way. And this is what also was discussed at our sessions.
Okay, so you brought up several points. Connection with HPC is key. You also mentioned AI Act and ethics. And again, it gives me the lead for you, Natalie. Probably you in your session, you also address those aspects of regulation, ethics, and privacy. So what can you say about your input from the session?
Well, yes, indeed. And we hear this discussion indeed between regulation and innovation and balancing both of them and how this is perceived within the AI Act. We, inspired by this topic and driven by different communities also within BDVA, like the Task Force 5 on Policy and Regulation and Societal Issues, the ATAMI group. There were different support for having a session and on regulatory sandboxing. So the session that I moderated was focused on indeed the tools of regulatory sandboxing for AI. What we did in the session, we had a very extensive panel, super good input from different perspectives. And what was clear was that we really needed to clarify on the notion, because there's a lot of experimental tools out there. There's living labs and test beds, and there's also these regulatory and sandboxes, and there's regulatory sandboxes. So we saw that it was because we were approaching it from the different angles and from certain pilots that were in Spain and the pilot in the Netherlands, and the ways it was approached in different projects. So we were seeing that the notion itself and distinguishing it from other experimental tools and looking at the different dimensions of testing. So whether we go with a guidance approach, whether we go with actually real life testing within the sandbox, that there was a lot of issues that we needed to clarify. So this clarification need we clearly saw from the panel, and we started this discussion, so that was great. We already had many inputs, but we clearly see that that's also something that needed to be continued. And maybe I could share from a second takeaway that we did have also a broader view on what's already out there with different pilots, different projects, also made the connection to data spaces, the TEFs. So we see that there's these links that we, from this perspective of finding the right balance between regulation and innovation, we should make. And I think there we have an ideal community that could contribute to this.
Okay, so thanks a lot. Okay, perfect. So very, very interesting. So now just to finalize the panel, I would like for you to final remark. Actually, you have to summarize in one challenge and how, from your seat, we can overcome those challenges. This challenge, just to finalize the session and final remark, Elena, from your side.
So from my side, and continuing with one of the takeaways I was mentioning, I would say data sharing, so identifying, compiling, processing data is still needed in all languages. So although many successful initiatives have been going on for many years now, we still need institutions, public institutions to kind of encourage every institution and companies to share data.
Yeah, my takeaway and also what from the session was that we, so that society and businesses can benefit fully, get the full benefits out of these developments in generative AI, the full value chain should be created. And there are essential elements what should be connected and some missing gaps. So we have to create a value chain consisting of computing infrastructure, HPC infrastructure, of data infrastructure. Data spaces play a major role, but we also to make sure that we are connecting layers, tools and services, what make it easier for businesses and researchers to experiment, to innovate, to create new services and applications based on these infrastructures, to lower the entry barrier, and to provide the skills what are necessary for that.
Finally, Natalie, from your side.
Well, what we were seeing is that if we're working towards like a successful implementation and functioning of those regulatory sandboxes in the different member states, what we really need is an increasing need for, well, actually for knowledge sharing, for talent, for capacity building. And I think there we have a unique role to play as a community. So I would like to, it's a call for action. It was a pickup, so we pick this up now and we continue with this, because I think these three elements, like the talent, the knowledge sharing, the capacity building, this is what we need.
Okay, so thanks a lot. I think we have takeaways, we have challenges, we have the measures and the plan. So, okay, let's continue the discussion. Next year in Hungary, we will see each other again, and let's see how we can achieve. Okay, so a big applause to our panelists, because thanks a lot. And okay, I will give the floor again to Anna.
Yeah, thank you very much. It has been great. And actually, we will meet each other before Hungary next year, because, you know, in this event, we have been talking a lot about collaborations, and we will continue in a moment. But many of the discussions or topics that have been addressed in this panel will be continued in 2 weeks in the ADRA Forum, AI Data and Robotics Forum, that takes place in Versailles in 2 weeks, 8th and 9th of November. So many of the things that you heard now will continue there. So please join us there as well.